What's going on, everybody? Thank y'all so much for joining us here on Chad's Media for our first ever broadcast of your Sulphur Springs Wildcat basketball team. Giving you the play-by-play, I'm Tyler Lennon, and my partner in crime, the color analyst, Mr. Grayson McClure. Grayson, what's going on, man?
What's going on, man? I'm excited to be here. This is a great opportunity. I think it's good for the community. I think it's good for Chad's Media. I think it's good for everybody.
Absolutely. I couldn't be more excited to be doing this, and I couldn't be more excited to be doing this with you. I think you're a great partner to have for this because I think you have insight that very few other people would have. For those of you that don't know, Grayson is a former Sulphur Springs Wildcat. You're a member of literally the greatest Sulphur Springs basketball teams ever. And you actually played with a handful of these guys that are on this team now, so I think you can kind of provide some insight into how they play and what they think and everything.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's the beauty of having players that do commentate. They know what a live atmosphere is like. They can see different cuts that the general fan may not see, and knowing, some of these players and how they behave in the locker room and how they behave when it's a timeout and in huddles. I think that is very valuable when it comes to this.
Absolutely. So we do want to preface this by saying real quick, this is obviously the first time that we've ever done anything like this. And the goal is to do more of this. I think hopefully be able to do most of the district games or the home games anyway. If they make the playoffs, hopefully we'll be able to travel, go to the playoff games as well. Again, we want to preface this by saying we're kind of on a shoestring budget. This is kind of our first time doing this, so we wish we could be at every game. We wish we could be at both the boys and the girls. But y'all bear with us, and hopefully this goes well, and we'll be able to do that. Maybe this time next year we'll be able to do all the games, boys and girls, home games and road games. So we got Sulphur Springs Wildcats against the Henderson Lions today. Grayson, what do you like about today's matchup? What are you hoping to see?
Well, this matchup, I think this Henderson team can be disruptive. I think they appear to be very athletic, but they kind of play chaotic on defense. And I think that can be good for a lot of teams, but it can also be bad for a lot of teams. So Sulphur Springs is able to capitalize on them playing passing lanes by being able to cut and being able to keep the ball moving at all times and to take care of the ball. I think it should be a fairly easy win for the Wildcats as long as they stick to the game plan and they're able to guard well.
Another thing I want to get your opinion on, something that came up this past week, rankings. I know as a former player I want to get your opinion. Obviously, there's multiple different sets of rankings and everyone has their, what do you look at? But you look, the Sulphur Springs currently not ranked in the top 25 of the TABC rankings, but on MaxPreps, number 7 in the state. As a former player, what does that do for these guys on this team right now?
I think it is. I think it can be very beneficial, but I think it can also cause some disruption. There's been times where we have been in the rankings where I remember my senior year we got ranked to 3rd in the state, which is the highest ever, and we got a lot of ego thrown our way, and we immediately lose to an unknown team. So as long as they can keep their head on straight and know that, because at the end of the day, the rankings aren't the end-all be-all. The end-all be-all is your district record. It's how you play in the playoffs and if you're able to win state. And as long as they can keep their head on straight, they'll be just fine. I mean, this team's got a lot of potential. They got a lot of valuable assets. They're pretty deep on the bench, and if they could just keep their pride secure, then they'll be just fine.
I agree with you. We are a little over 5 minutes away from tip-off here. Kind of want to run through some things. If you don't mind, Grayson, who is a player you're looking to watch out for today for the Sulphur Springs Wildcats? Obviously, I know, like you said, they've got a deep bench, they're a good team, but give me one name that you're looking out for today as kind of a key player, someone you're watching.
When you watch this team, there's a few standouts, such as Justin Hare and Caleb Alexander, some others. But two players that I really like to watch and I think are very big key factors to this team are Grayson and Parker Wisenhunt. They're not really the biggest scorers on the team. I believe Grayson averages about 4 a game, but they're very disruptive in getting deflections, getting steals, and being able to push the ball in transition, especially Parker. This Sulphur Springs team thrives in transition.
Absolutely.
And grabbing points on turnovers. And two big factors to that are Parker Wisenhunt and Grayson.
I 100% agree. It's funny. I was thinking, who your player was going to be, so I needed 2 names in mind. That way, if we chose the same one, Parker was one of the ones I was going to go with. for anyone who hasn't got to see this team play yet this year, I think the best way I could describe him is just hustle. High energy guy. He's someone who makes things happen on both sides of the floor. He creates turnovers, I believe, about 3 steals a game.
Right.
And again, just high energy plays. There was a home game against Paris earlier this year. Paris, who was number 14 in the state in 4A at the time. He gets the ball in the corner, he drives baseline, throws down a 2-hand slam, and the crowd just erupts. I mean, that's the kind of plays you're getting from him. I guess if the player I was going to choose today would be Cordrick Turner. I know he is one of the bigger scorers on this team, I believe averaging 11 points per game this year, with almost all of them being in the paint and 7 rebounds. I think to have the combination of him and Justin Hare, if you can continue to feed them and especially getting them the ball in the paint, they not only create opportunities for themselves, but we saw it, especially in that Paris game, they create doubles, which is allowing shooters like Caleb Alexander to get open. So I really think if they can feed both Justin Hare and Cordrick Turner, get them the ball in the paint, allow them to do something, that's kind of what I would want to be looking out for today.
Absolutely, yeah, and that's a big thing with playing high school basketball. If you can have a good pair of bigs, it is almost an automatic entry into the playoffs. I played with tons of D1 bigs while growing up, and it only allowed me to become a better shooter, because like you said, it's forcing defenses to double team them.
Right.
And if they don't double team them, well, especially these 2 bigs, Justin Hare and Cordrick Turner, they'll score at will.
Absolutely. I mean, like you said, they're literally averaging Justin 15 points per game, 10.5 of those coming in the paint. And then Cordrick, we said 11 points per game, 10 of those coming in the paint. So like you said, I mean, if you don't double, they will score on you down there. You know, we here at Chad's Media, we do post-game interviews every now and then, and I got to speak to Caleb Alexander after the Paris win, and he spoke specifically about because they were doubling Justin that night, he spoke specifically about it's not only just Justin, but him and Cordrick both. When they're doubling them, that gets guys like him and some of these other shooters open shots. If you don't mind, you want to run through the starting lineups for us real quick, Grayson. And by the way, we have to warn y'all, we're 2 minutes away from the announcement of the starting lineups and the national anthem, so we will pause during that, and obviously Grayson will be doing that for us here in the arena. But
absolutely. So for Sulphur Springs, we have the guards will be Caleb Alexander and Branson Land, 2 great shooters, 2 great scorers, great facilitators.
Branson specifically is somebody who kind of he's really good with the ball in his hands, can create his own shot.
He's the player I always wanted to be. I was just never able to be like that. Kaysen Arrington, and then also junior Cordrick Turner and senior Justin Hare. You know, Justin Hare obviously going to DBU. Cordrick Hare is a future college basketball player as well. This starting lineup, I'm telling you, they can cause a lot of havoc. Not only in district, but in the playoffs as well. I think they can get very deep.
Absolutely. We've seen them get off to an incredible start to start this year already. And, I expect to see more of that. And they haven't really gotten a ton of opportunities to play here at home. So I know I spoke to Coach Shaver before the game, and they were very excited to get to play here at home. So I think we're about to get started here in just a few minutes. Like we said, we're going to go to break to announce the starting lineups and for the national anthem. So y'all please stick with us through that. Hey Grayson, I got a little Bulls intro, or a little Bulls music.
for your Sulphur Springs Wildcats. At guard, number 0, junior Grayson, Lennon. Number 24, junior Turner. At guard, number 3, senior Caleb Alexander. Playing forward, number 2, senior Mason Arrington. And number 1, senior Justin Hare.
Hey, do you have to is it, do you have to cut that? Do you have to cut it off?
Yeah, you just push it.
It's off.
Yeah. Think that was all right?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, and we are back. We are ready. About to sit down. Just on his way, Grayson. Darren. Check.
Nah. Is it on? The headphones?
No, it's not. Now can you hear me? Check.
Wait, hold up.
Check.
There we go.
Okay, cool. And here we are. Henderson Lions win the tip-off. We are back, and I got to say, my partner here, Grayson, did a great job with the starting lineups.
Yeah, that was a little nerve-wracking. First time trying to hype the crowd up. This is, and again,
A lot better than I would have done. And the Wildcats force a steal. Caleb Alexander with the ball in the corner. He drives the lane. Up to Turner. He goes up, and it's good.
Wow.
Wildcats on the board first, thanks to a Cordrick Turner layup. Grayson, what do you think about the start we're seeing so far?
Well, immediately we see Grayson Arrington starting off with a deflection and a steal. Immediately starting in a transition.
Just like you mentioned before the game, Henderson comes down, ties it with a layup. It is 2-2. Caleb Alexander setting up the offense.
I got to say, playing with Caleb Alexander, a nice play by Justin Harris.
Very smart play by Justin Harry. Alexander throws a lob to him. He wasn't quite able to get it, but to save it from going out of bounds, he throws it off the Henderson line, so it's going to be the Wildcats' ball.
On these baseline plays, Sulphur Springs is very good at scoring.
Absolutely.
They've scored almost every time they on a baseline play or sideline play.
Carter goes up. The shot's no good, but he does get his own rebound. Swings over to Arrington. He's no good. Hare with the offensive rebound.
Big rebound.
A pair of offensive rebounds on the play. Wildcats lead 4-2 here with just a little over a minute played. And they're coming out in a press here, Grayson.
And very, very interesting. Was not expecting this against a very athletic Henderson team.
Air ball's a corner three, and it's going to be Sulphur Springs ball. I like this aggressive defense, even though you allow the open corner three, still doesn't bite you on that one.
I think they're just really wanting to speed them up. I don't think this team is a very good half-court offensive team, so Shaver's big goal is
at your pace.
Right, absolutely.
And Alexander setting up the offense once again. Henderson playing a pretty aggressive defense, playing up. Turner gets the ball in the post again, draws the foul. See, this is what I told you I wanted to see before the game. Feeding these two bigs in the post, allowing them to create their own offense.
Absolutely. And I will say, I had the opportunity of playing with Caleb Alexander my senior year, arguably my favorite teammate of all time. When I played with him, he was strictly a shooter. That was his role, is to shoot the ball. And I'm very impressed and proud of how he's been able to develop into a key facilitator, but also be able to still shoot 44% from three when he needs to. And, I think that's very big that he's able to step into that role of bringing the ball up and running the offense for them.
Absolutely. Cordrick Turner makes both of his free throws, making it 6-2 here. And like you said, Caleb has come a long way since when he was first on varsity. Like you said, he was primarily just a three-point shooter. Now he's someone who runs the offense. And we've got a steal. Branson Lynn with the steal. He goes up for the layup, and that is good. 8-2 Wildcats here. Just 2 minutes of action gone, already leading 8-2. And I like the pace that they're playing at.
Absolutely. Grayson Lynn also, I think, is a key defensive player. he's able to, he knows where the right spots are.
A huge block from Cordic Turner.
Big block.
That man is doing it on both sides in the post. Cordic Turner coming out with a lot of energy to start this game. Henderson trying to inbound the ball. They have trouble, but they are able to do so. Trying to post up Turner. You're going to get blocked again. Nope, gets the shot off. And no good. Here with the rebound, and we're playing in transition. Ball up to Branson Lynn. He goes up for the layup.
Big finish.
With the contact, no foul, but he does get the layup, and there's going to be a timeout for Henderson. Wildcats lead 10-2 with 5:30 left in the first quarter. Grayson, how do you feel about this start?
It's a huge start. Being able to start out at home on fire like that is very key. I'm very impressed of the energy we're bringing. We know exactly what Henderson's going to do, and our defense is staying very disciplined and being able to cause turnovers and get into transition, and I'm very impressed with that.
See, this is something I got to talk about off camera with Coach Shaver before the game. He's talked about, we've played a lot of road games so far, looking really, he said, had trouble getting shots to fall. He said we need to come out, get the crowd behind us, get the energy flowing, and that's exactly what they've been able to do so far. Like we said, Wildcats lead 10-2 here in just over 2.5 minutes of action. We're really seeing them play, kind of fire on all cylinders. They're playing well in the half-court offense, but they're also getting out in transition. They're playing defense.
Yeah,
seeing a lot of good basketball.
I'm very impressed. Branson Lynn, we've talked highly of him already. This year he hasn't been able to shoot the ball well to start. But he is a shooter.
Right.
And instead of being discouraged by that, he's finding other ways to score. He's so good at being able to use his size and being able to still score when he's the smallest on the court.
Right.
We've seen that today at the start.
And like you said, one of those who's really good with the ball in his hands. He can get a shot for himself or for somebody else.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. And we're back in action. Henderson Lions have the ball, trailing 10-2 to the Sulphur Springs Wildcats. Sulphur Springs comes up. Man defense, but they're picking up pretty high. And Justin Hare with the steal. Lynn comes down with it. They're running the floor. He goes up for the layup.
Another big finish. Branson Lynn.
12-2. What is that? Probably 8 transition points?
Yeah, 8 transition points. Another deflection.
And Henderson almost turns the ball over again. It is deflected off of a Wildcat. They're going to get to keep the ball. They're inbounding on the sideline, but close to the baseline down here in the corner.
Sulphur Springs, you can see they're very good at using their hands and staying wide. It's causing passing lanes to.
And look at this. We got another steal from Branson Lynn. He goes up for the layup, draws the foul. No good, but he will go to the line to shoot 2 free throws. This kid is coming out on fire right now, Grayson.
Yeah, I mean, he's once again, man, on defense, he knows where to be as well as offense. And just like he's able to run the transition, and he knows how to read the defenders. He's good at using his body and being able to reach for layups. And
now we should mention Justin was the one who forced that steal on that one.
Absolutely.
But Branson was right there, picked the ball up, was able to run in transition with it. First free throw is up and good. It's going to make it 13-2. We've already seen Henderson use one of their timeouts. And we haven't even played 3 minutes of basketball yet, Grayson. There's 5:01 left here in the first quarter. Second free throw is up, and it is good as well. 14-2.
Branson Lynn has 8 of their 14 points to start. And it's strictly all transition.
Right. Who else? We got 4 points from. And Henderson able to get the basket and draw the foul.
I'm not sure about that foul. He seemed to be straight up.
That's going to make it 14-4, and we will see what they do with the free throw. It's really the first time they've been able to successfully get to the goal today.
Yeah.
Free throw is up, and good.
It's so hard for opposing teams to get to the rim.
Oh, absolutely.
Against a guy like Justin Hare, I mean,
you got
being
Hare
able
and
to.
Turner down there waiting on
Absolutely. And Hare is so good at making his presence be felt literally everywhere on the court.
Absolutely. Turner's got the ball down here in the corner. He's going to kick back out to Alexander. He drives to the goal. He gets his layup off, and it is blocked. But Justin Hare comes down with the rebound. He goes back up with it. No good. Turner puts it back up. No good. Lions ball. They are running. They get a layup off of their own. That's no good. But they do get their own offensive rebound. The putback is good. Lions cutting it into 7 points, 14-7. There with about 4 minutes left in the first quarter. Now Branson Lynn going to be the one to set up the offense. He's got a screen from Hare and Turner. He uses it to the goal.
Nice pass.
Nice pass over. to Arrington for 3
Big
in
shot.
the corner. Great pass. He found Arrington wide open in the corner for 3. It's going to make it 17-7.
Wow, and then that horns action when both bigs come up and being able to set a double screen with guys like Justin Hare rolling or Cordrick rolling, it's almost impossible to guard for that same reason. You got to guard that roll, but if you guard that roll, you leave a good shooter out in the corner.
And you really do have to pick your poison. Do you give free 2 points to one of these bigs, or
absolutely.
do you allow someone like Grayson Arrington open for 3 in the corner? And Arrington comes down with a steal now. And we got a timeout on Sulphur Springs. So they were able to force a steal, and before we got a jump ball or anything, got possession, called the timeout. So a smart heads-up play by both the Wildcats defense and also by Coach Brandon Shaver.
The intensity of this team, man, it is fast. You know, this team, over the past few years, we've had a lot of talent, constant college athletes. This team, the talent level might not be as high, but the intensity level is probably even higher. The effort level is probably even higher, and that's what makes this team so special.
I agree. I think that's the biggest thing I've been able to notice about this team so far. Even like you said, you've lost a lot of talent over the last few years, but the intensity is still there, maybe as high as we've ever seen it.
Yeah.
Coming out of the timeout, it will be the Wildcats' ball. They lead 17-7. There is 3:40 left in the first quarter. So it's been a very high-scoring first quarter for the Wildcats so far, which they've been a high-scoring team this year, averaging, 74 points per game, while only allowing 43.
Wow, that's crazy numbers.
It is. Granted, it's still very early in the season, but still. So it's going to be the Wildcats' ball. Caleb Alexander setting up the offense. He feeds it over to Turner at the top of the key, now to Arrington. We find Hare in the post. He goes up for a jump shot, no good. I do like Hare getting that shot, though.
Hare loves that mid-range, that turnaround mid-range shot. Big.
And Caleb Alexander forces a steal. He's driving. They're going to slow it down, I think. No, Hare driving the baseline. He spins. Gets the fadeaway shot, no good. Again, I still like this shot from him down there. He misses on 2 possessions in a row, but I still like him getting it. We're about to have our first sub of the game. We got Parker Wisenhunt coming in. He was one of our key players to watch.
Having somebody like Parker, great defense by Grayson Arrington.
Great defense by Grayson Arrington. And it's going to be a jump ball. It's going to be a jump ball, and it's going to be the Wildcats' ball.
Having a player like Parker and Wisenhunt coming up off the bench, usually when somebody comes off the bench, they want a guy that can be able to score. But when you have a guy that can play both sides of the ball, and like Parker, and be such a defensive wreck to other teams like he is, it's such a key to high school basketball teams.
Now Wisenhunt checked in for Arrington, so we have all the starters except for Wisenhunt in for Arrington. Hare with the ball in the post to fade away, no good. I still like him getting these shots. Him and Turner feeding off of each other. Lions get a layup, and it is good. So they've cut it down to 17-9 now. A little under 2.5 left here in this first quarter. Caleb Alexander getting a screen from Hare, and this is some tight defense from the Lions. Wisenhunt has the ball. He kicks back out to Alexander. A deep 3, and it's blocked.
Not sure if I like that shot too much.
Incredible hustle by Branson Lynn here. He wasn't able to force the steal, but he almost was. Knocks the ball out of bounds. I agree with you. I like Caleb getting deep shots, and I like him. He hasn't really got very many today, so I like, maybe a heat check, get yourself into the rhythm, but over a much taller defender like that, that is tough.
I think it's one of those things where you're playing fast, so you think you got to shoot really quick.
Right.
Instead of slowing it down, which I understand. It may be their offense, which is different. Over the past few years, we played under Coach Sip. We played a very slow tempo offense.
Right.
Shaver come in here and he flips it around very fast, and it's very exciting to watch.
And you're getting off to a good start. Wildcats lead 17-9. Lions inbound, and Justin Hare with the steal. He gives up to Wisenhunt. Wisenhunt has to wait for it. Two-hand slam. That's a big two-hand slam from Parker Wisenhunt. 19-9 the Wildcats lead. Now that's the second time I've seen him do that this year, Grayson. Like I said, mentioned in the pregame show, just high energy player. The crowd gets involved. Lions trying to find some offense of their own in the paint, and they do. A little 2-point score in the paint. 19-11 the Wildcats lead. Branson Lynn setting up the offense now. And we got a lot of movement off ball. Wisenhunt has the ball now. He gets the screen for Turner. He drops the lane.
Nice.
Ooh. He tried to go up for another dunk. He gets blocked at the rim. It's going to be the Lions' ball. If he had thrown that one down, this place would have erupted.
Yeah, we would have stopped recording.
We would have had
one.
to stop.
Yeah.
Ooh. And we have a foul on Cordrick Turner. He went up for the block, as you can see, or maybe even hear behind us. Not everyone a big fan of that call. Grayson, what do you think of that call? Is that a foul, or what do you think?
I think so. I think he had his hand down on that one. But I mean, of course, the home team is going to believe that,
Right.
you know, they didn't foul, of course.
And
but
especially with a player like Cordrick, a lot of the time he does get those blocks.
yeah,
so
absolutely.
The first free throw is no good, so it's still 19-11. There is 1 minute and 3 seconds left here in the first quarter. And if you could get a 20-point quarter here to start this game, I mean, it would be a really nice start. And they missed both free throws. Wildcats come down with the rebound, and they're going to slow things down here. Like I said, playing fast, but you can also control the pace at this point.
Yeah, I love the change of pace.
Especially 1 minute left here in the quarter. Lynn gets his own shot off.
Not a
no
great
good.
shot.
Lions driving on the other side.
Nice block.
Are they calling that one a foul too?
They did. Now that one, I'm not a big fan of that call.
I'm not either. So for those of you that can't see this, Parker Wisenhunt goes up for a huge block on just a high-energy player. They did call it a foul. I personally thought that one looked clean, but I understand. Man, he just makes plays happen. He had the dunk earlier, almost had a second one with a huge block there. It's a foul, but first free throw, no good. So that's 3 free throws in a row. The Lions just haven't been able to capitalize. If you can hit these, it would be a 5-point game.
You mentioned those Wisenhunt dunks. So those are able to happen because of the defensive turnovers.
Absolutely.
And like Justin Harris has 3 steals in the first quarter alone already.
Second free throw is good, by the way.
And he's the big. You know what I mean?
Right.
So being able to, like I said, his presence is everywhere on the court.
So the second free throw was good. It's going to be 19-12 now. Sulphur Springs lead. Little delay of game here. 42.2 seconds left in the quarter. They're going to inbound right here by us at the scorer's table. They get it to Alexander in the backcourt. It's still a man defense from the Lions, but they're pressing. They're playing very tight, full court. He gives it to Lynn. Lynn for 3, and he gets blocked on
That's a good shot.
well. He gets his own rebound, though. 29 seconds left in the quarter here. I think maybe waiting for a shot.
Nice
Wisenhunt
pass.
drives the lane.
Good foul.
And scores. Wisenhunt drives baseline, gets the layup to go. 21-12, 18 seconds left here in the quarter. See what the Lions are able to do with their final possession. And at the quarter break, Grayson will update us with some stats here in just 1 second. There's 8 seconds left, 7. He drives the lane, gets his layup off, and it is good. Wildcats will try to inbound. Alexander pulls up from half court. And that'll do it for the first quarter. Wildcats lead 21-14. Grayson, what do you like so far, man?
Man, I like how Sulphur Springs is using their body. You know, Henderson is doing a pretty good job at helping on the backside when they get to the rim. But we're making that basically nothing because we're being able to use our body, and we like to call it ball body man, where when they go straight up, use your body, get into them, and then go out with a layup. And Parker Wisenhunt, Branson has been able to do that. We see Justin Harris. Justin Harris kind of struggling on the offensive end.
He is, but he got a couple of his own shots up. They weren't able to fall, but he was able to get them. Do you mind updating us with some stats? You've been nice enough to keep these stats going, so let's hear them.
Right now, Branson Lane has 8 points, and that's out of our 21. We also have Justin Harris, only 2 points, 2 rebounds, but he has 3 steals. So like I said, he's struggling on the offensive end, but I think the biggest thing is if you're struggling on that end, what do you do on the other end?
Right.
And that goes both ways.
We also got, 4 grpoints from Parker Wisenhunt there, 3 from Grayson Arrington.
Right, and we have 2 for 2 for free throw for Cordrick Turner. Cordrick hasn't been able to get many shots on the offensive end.
But his presence still being felt. He had the big block a second ago. He's definitely protecting the paint, and he's doing a lot off ball. He's setting screens, like the 3-pointer that Grayson Arrington got wide open in the corner. A lot of that's because of those screens. So even if he's not filling the stat sheet up necessarily, his presence still being felt. We are getting the second quarter started here. It's going to be the Lions' ball.
We have
inbound.
Malachi Miles checked into the game for the Wildcats. He's another guy that he's a good role player to have, athletic, knows how to use his body.
Looks like he came in for Caleb Alexander. So we still got Wisenhunt, Miles, Turner, and Harris still out there, along with Branson Lynn is the 5 we got to start the second quarter. And Cordrick Turner comes down with a steal. Up ahead to Wisenhunt. He's going to try to get to the goal, and he has to pick it up. He gives to Lynn. Lynn has it at the 3-point line. They're going to set up. Cordrick Turner drives, Ooh.
Good drive. There we go.
Now, he was about to throw down a dunk right there. And I don't know, for those of you that have never seen it, Quadric Turner dunks are a ton of fun to watch.
Yeah,
They are.
for sure.
Just over 30 seconds have been played here in the second quarter. Turner going to line for 2. You said he made 2 free throws earlier, correct?
Yes, he did. And you know, you mentioned Henderson being aggressive on the defensive end, and picking up from half court basically.
Yep.
Silver Springs is also picking up from half court, which is different from years past. We
Right.
usually pick up around the 3-point line, but Shaver's implemented that, and I think it does cause a lot of chaos to teams and confusion.
Turner
to
gets
teams.
both of his free throws to fall. Sorry to cut you off there, Grayson. Wildcats lead 23-14 after Turner makes both of his free throws. So he's 4 for 4 from the free throw line today. And again, like you mentioned, this aggressive defense picking up close to half court. Malachi Miles with the steal. And now we're going to slow things down. Branson Lynn once again with the ball. He finds Wizenhunt in the corner. He pulls up from 3. No good, but Miles with the rebound. He goes up and scores. Look at that energy play.
Big rebound, smallest guy on the court,
Smallest guy on the
crashing the board.
Going to make it a 25-14 Wildcats lead. Now, what are we seeing from this Lions offense, Grayson?
I think there's a lot of movement. They're trying to get the ball to one. One is their shooter.
And it's going to be a turnover. Just a bad pass that bounced out of bounds, I believe.
Yeah, they're trying to run plays to number one, their shooter, but I think Silver Springs really keyed in on him and not letting him get all the shots he wants, as well as number 5 when he's in the game. They want to set plays to get it to the big. But I think Henderson realized early on, the big actions won't work too well against the Silver
against
Springs
this group
team.
of guys. So Malachi Miles, he comes in, a lot of high energy. He gets the rebound down here, or still I believe it was on this end. Comes down, gets an offensive rebound and a putback. I mean, you got to love that coming off the bench and immediately making an impact.
That's a testament of how deep we are. You know, usually Silver Springs is 6. They have the 5 starters. They may have 1 or 2 bench players come off to play. So far, we've already seen 2, and they usually play another one.
Right.
And these guys, they play key minutes. No, there's not a minute wasted with guys
Right.
like Parker Wizenhunt, Malachi Miles when they go in the game.
Absolutely agree. We're about to come back out of this timeout again. Wildcats lead 25-14 here early in the second quarter. Malachi Miles averaging 7 points per game this year, almost 8, and a couple of steals. I mean, just a high energy player.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, you know, he'll play about 9 minutes a game. But man, those 9 minutes was so important.
I mean, see how wild that is. 9 minutes a game, but it's 8 points and 2 steals. Very,
It's
very,
wild.
very efficient. 6:41 left to play here in the first half. Wildcats lead 25-14. It's going to still be Henderson ball. I misspoke. The timeout was called. So they're inbounding on the sideline, the far sideline from us. Got the half-court offense set up. There was a lot of movement, a lot of off-ball movement earlier. We're not seeing quite as much right now. The Lions drive. They get a layup up, and it's good. Looked like Hare maybe drew a charge, but no call. And I'm fine with that no call.
Yeah, it was a little lightly touched, maybe a little flop, but
Going to make it a 9-point Wildcats lead now. Wizenhunt has the ball, gets a screen from Hare. He feeds Hare. Not quite able to get it there, though. The Lions do pick that one off. And we have seen a lot of turnovers here today, kind of from both teams.
And I got to say, Branson Lynn is doing such a great job at making the.
Speaking of the turnovers, there's another one. Just a bad pass from the Lions.
Well, Grayson Lennon's done a great job of making the guys guarding feel him. He's all up on him without fouling, and I think that's the key. He's not using his arms, not using his hands. He's using his body to stick with them, but he's also done such a good job at controlling the pace. He's able to see when he can run it, when he needs to walk it up.
Now we got Caleb Alexander checking back in. We're actually going to give Lynn a little bit of a break here. Miles with the ball. He feeds to Turner, and Turner going to give it right back to him. He's going to drop to the lane. He gets picked up. Hare with it now. He gets to Alexander. Deep 3. And
that's a good shot.
That is a good shot.
That's a shot you want.
Lions come down with the rebound, though. And they're playing fast now. Gets to the goal. And it's going to be a foul on the floor, I believe, on Caleb Alexander. So just real quick, the 5 that we have out there now, we got Malachi Miles with Quadric Turner and Justin Hare, both of the bigs still out there. Parker Wizenhunt and Caleb Alexander going to be the 5 out there. Wildcats lead 25-16 with 5.5 left here in the first half. 5:34 to be exact. Lions are inbounding underneath their own goal, and they are able to inbound. And I love this tight D we're seeing from Malachi Miles right now.
Right, they do seem to be playing a little. There's a double screen.
There we go. Ooh. And
Good call.
Going to be an offensive foul on the illegal pick, I guess. Grayson, you seem to like that call.
Yeah, that's a great call. I mean, a lot of high school guys, they get away with moving their body when they're setting screens like that. But if you stick your knee out, it's very easy to call.
Absolutely. So now it's going to be the Wildcats ball, still 25-16. Miles has it in the corner. He's coming off a screen from Turner. He picks it up.
There it is. Good
he feeds
pass.
Turner down low. He gets it. And the layup. Ooh, no good. Great strong move to get to the goal, though. Lions have the ball. They're running in transition. Good move. He picks up, feeds down low. And that's going to be a jump ball.
Malachi Miles again.
For those of you that couldn't see that, just a post move, he goes up for a shot, but Malachi Miles, he's able to not block it or to not foul, but to literally jump ball. It's going to be the Wildcats ball
He's
now.
also able to make a phenomenal pass over there.
And as we mentioned earlier, smallest guy on the court right now. He's come down with
Absolutely.
offensive rebounds. He's
There's another one. Drives right to the rim and gets what he wants.
That makes it 27-16 Wildcats. What is that, his first points of the night?
That's his fourth point.
Fourth points of the night.
He's got 2 baskets right now.
Oh, yeah, he had the offense. That's my fault. I keep talking about it, and I forgot it.
Yeah.
And look at this tight defense.
Great defense.
Caleb Alexander. He feeds down low. And Hare does
That's
draw
a
the
good
charge this
charge.
time. There it is. I cannot tell you, and I only get to cover the home games and everything, but I've seen Justin Hare do that so many times it feels like.
Yeah, you see when you watch college basketball and stuff, you see usually the guards taking the charges. Silver Springs, I don't know what it is, but we've been able to set a program where usually the bigs take the charges. You have Cameron Kahn. A few years ago,
Cam Kahn, another
we
one.
did have a guard, Bryson Lennon, who was able to risk his body at all costs. And this next guy, Justin Hare, is, again, able to sacrifice his body no matter what.
For the record, it looks like we have Grayson Arrington checking in for Parker Wisenhunt. 27-16 Wildcats lead with 4:20 left here in the first half. So the scoring has slowed down a good bit here in this second quarter.
We seem to be slowing down the offense a little bit.
Yeah, it's not so much the scoring, it's just the pace of the game.
Absolutely.
Grayson Arrington drives to the goal. He gets his layup, but no good. And the Lions moving fast. And Justin Hare, he's able to get a deflection and it's still there. Turner feeds up with Alexander, goes for the left-hand layup. He gets blocked. But Justin Hare with the offensive rebound slams it home. Wildcats lead 29-16.
And that's just a hustle play. Coming out of nowhere for an offensive rebound.
Okay, can you, to those that might not quite understand, how tough is it for especially a high schooler to come down with an offensive rebound and still slam it? No momentum, just come down with the rebound and be able to two-hand slam it.
There's so much athleticism that you have to have. It's such natural ability. And just like that, it wasn't no step, it was no dribble. Just be able to grab it and put it right back up. It's very impressive, and not many high schoolers can do it.
Absolutely. I would think Cordrick Turner could also do something like that. Lions get a 3 off, bank it off the glass. Going to make it a 10-point game, 29-19. And Miles running the offense now, and again kind of slowing down. We're getting a lot of movement off ball, though. Turner with it. He feeds down low to Hare in the post. Hare goes up. Good shot. Gets the shot to go and the foul. And that is 2 big momentum plays back-to-back for Justin Hare there.
Absolutely, and I think that's now he's starting to feel it. I think that's what a big explosive dunk can do. Once a guy, I think usually when a guy would have an explosive dunk or a couple big threes, is a key to try to keep feeding him, because then he has the momentum, and that's real, and that does affect.
Now the free throw is no good by Hare. Lions get the board, so it's going to be 31-19. Lions moving fast. Number 5, he's been all right here tonight. He gets the layup, no good. Offensive putback by number 1, though, and that is good. Once again, a 10-point game, 31-21. We got 3 minutes left here in the first half.
Oddly enough, Henderson's done a pretty good job at grabbing offensive boards today, which isn't usually the case against the Sulphur Springs team.
No, they are very stingy when it comes to the rebounds. Grayson Arrington in the paint, no good. But he does get his own rebound, and then a turnover. So it's going to be the Lions ball now. Even though he hasn't got his shots to fall, this number 5 for Henderson, he has been really good with the ball in his hands. That is going to be junior Jacoby Robinson, for the record. Oh, he's driving to the goal now. He's taking on Turner. He gets the shot over Turner, but no good. Hare comes down with the rebound over a pair of lines. And he's going to bring out the ball himself, coast to coast. He finds Alexander for a deep three. Bang!
Big three.
Deep three from Caleb Alexander. 34-21, and he, no offense to you, you are an amazing shooter, Grayson, but he might be the best deep three-ball shooter we've seen at this school.
That's incredible. It's amazing how far he can go. He usually never shoots it right beyond the three-point line.
Right. He only likes the really deep threes.
Yeah.
Where was your favorite place to get a three-pointer off?
Oh, the corner.
Yeah.
Corner.
Speaking of, Lions almost get a corner three of their own. They kick it out to the top of the key. We've got a minute and 45 left here. Grayson Arrington is playing great defense there. They're slowing things down. They throw the oop. No good on the pass, but he has it. And it's a block from Justin Hare. He gets his own rebound, and then Hare gets the rebound. Block and a board on that play. 1.5 left here in the first half. Alexander's going to, thought he was going to pull up.
Yeah, I did too.
We feed Hare. He's on the baseline. He's going to take it. You take him. He kicks out to Arrington for three. Bang!
Big three.
Back-to-back threes. One from Alexander, one from Arrington. Going to be a 37-21 game now.
You see Justin Hare when he got in the post, Silver Springs cleared out, brought everyone to that side.
Now this is a lot of fun we're having. Lions in the corner, no good. Malachi Miles, look at him.
Great hustle.
What a hustle play. It is going to go out on the Wildcats, it looks like, but still, this man has brought nothing but hustle and energy here tonight.
You see Coach Mass for the Wildcats loves the hustle play.
Absolutely.
And that's what I think I like about this team. It's not about the threes or the dunks. It's about the hustling.
Granted, we also have seen threes and dunks here tonight, though.
Yeah, of course.
Lions trying to make something happen. Going to try to take Turner. Turner's staying with him. Barely gets a shot off over, and it's good. What a tough shot. Made that one. We've got 45 seconds left, and the Wildcats are moving fast. Turner has the ball now in the paint. Layup no good, and the Lions kind of able to volleyball tip pass that one out. They're running the floor. Wildcats come down with the rebound. Okay, we got 26 seconds left. Turner with the Euro, and it's good. What a great move from Cordrick Turner there.
Yeah, nice 2-on-1.
17 seconds left. We are playing very fast right now. Down to 10 seconds on the clock. Lions still with the ball. They get a shot off from the elbow. No good. 7 seconds. Turner comes down with the rebound. He gives the Alexander at half court. Alexander knows how much time he has. He drives, gets the shot off, and it's good. And it's good. I want to replay that real quick. 7 seconds left. 7 seconds left. Turner gets the rebound. He gives up to Alexander at half court. He's able to get his layup off right before the buzzer.
At the rim.
And that is now the second Caleb Alexander buzzer beater I have seen this season. We good?
Yeah.
Okay.
So right now, I think Justin Hare right now is 6.6 rebounds.
Oh, for the record, real quick, it's 41-23 here at the half.
Yeah, half.
Sorry to cut you off. Anyway.
Justin Hare 6.6 rebounds. Again, he's starting to slow down offensively, but as you see at the beginning, he was trying to force those hook shots, which aren't bad shots. He's got the green light. But now when he's getting doubled, he's finding the open guys, and I think that's huge. But then he's making his presence known by grabbing defensive rebounds, getting deflections. Another thing I've noticed with this team is a lot of high school teams, when they gamble defensively, it causes a lot of open baskets.
Right.
This seems so good at being able to gamble, but then also helping. There was once where Malachi gambles, follows by Justin gambling, and then Cordrick's right there to stop a basket from happening.
Defense.
Right, they're so disciplined. It's incredible.
Now, Grayson, I almost called you Justin. We're talking about Justin there. If you don't mind, can you walk us through some of these halftime stats so far? Some of maybe our leaders, some things that are sticking out to you.
Absolutely. So right now, Justin Hare has 6.6 rebounds. He's averaging 15 and 11 for the year, which is incredible to average a double-double in high school. Cordrick Turner has 6 points. He has the board himself, but he's 4 for 4 from the line.
Love to see that.
Caleb Alexander has 5. He's 1 for 3 from the field. But as we see, he just hit that big three.
Right.
I think that'll start to turn into more threes. But he's done a great job at being able to run the plays, run the
Absolutely.
offense.
Yeah, I would say maybe 50-50 between him and Branson Lynn running the offense.
Yeah, and at the end there, Malachi Miles even being able to run the offense. And if those three guys can't, you also have Parker Wisenhunt that can. And that's so important. All these guys.
There was even a couple plays where Hare brings it down himself.
Absolutely, and that's what I was about to comment on is these guys that they have. You know, usually we have a team where when I played, I couldn't bring the ball up. I couldn't break a press. I could not put the ball on the ground.
Well, what was wrong? Why could you not do that, Grayson?
Because I was worried about being in the corner to shoot a three.
He's just trying to get to the corner.
But when you have a big, like a Sadadrian Hall who played with us, or even a Cameron Kahn that can go coast to coast like that, that's the type of teams you see in the state championship. That's the type of teams that you see in the regional finals usually. So when you have a guy, when all 8 players that are playing can dribble up the court, because I've seen Cordrick multiple times throughout the season be able to go coast to coast like he just did.
I wanted to mention that you played with, I believe, both of them, right? Cameron Kahn and Cordrick. Yes. Cordrick does remind me of Cameron Kahn a little bit, just in that sense. He's a great, an excellent rebounder, great rim protector, but like you said, someone who can create his own shot down in the post, but also can bring the ball up the floor himself.
Absolutely.
He can run in transition, whether it's him being the one on the receiving end or passing it. Either way, it feels like he runs in transition very well.
And I think the edge he has on Cameron Kahn right now is he's so disciplined, and that's the big thing about this team. With the teams I played on, there was a lot of times where we lack discipline, unless we're playing against a number 2 ranked team in the state.
Right.
This is an unranked team. We were always bad at playing down to our opponent. This team has showed no signs of that this season. I mean, like we mentioned earlier, it's a 30-point differential for the season for the most part. And
so that's something I wanted to ask you about. So it felt like a close competitive game for a good bit of this half, but where they start to run away with it at the end here in the first half. It's almost a 20-point ball game now. It's 41-23 at the half. What do you expect to see in the second half? Are we going to see them slow down on the offense? Are we going to see them maybe fall back on defense a little bit, or what? Or do you think they're going to keep applying that pressure?
I think a big thing is to start out the half applying the pressure. I think if you come off slow, when you've been playing fast and then you come off slow, I think that can appear to be lazy or weak, and that can give the other team some momentum, especially a team like Henderson who's athletic, who also wants to play fast as well. But as long as if they come out firing on the defensive end, staying aggressive, I think this lead will just get bigger and bigger. And I do expect, there at the end, Henderson started to try to throw up desperate shots, and I think that's a big worry for Henderson. Instead of moving away from off-ball screens and off-ball movement, they're doing a lot of ISOs with 1 and 5.
Absolutely, because you were the one that had mentioned it earlier in the game. There was a lot of off-ball movement, setting screens for each other, passing the ball, and then we kind of in the second quarter saw less and less of that. And of course now their offense, it felt like slowed down a good bit. It felt like Sulphur Springs was able to turn that into transition points. So do you expect them to change that up and go back to that kind of thing?
Well, I think that's a coaching standpoint. When I played, there was games that, as good as we were, there was games where we were down 18 and a half, 15 and a half, 10 and a half. Well, a big thing is the coaching. Coach Sip and Coach Coleman, Coach Manning, whoever our coaches were at the time, were big about let's stick to our game plan and let's adjust accordingly to what we need to. We're not going to go up there and say, all right, let's get the ball to Keyston, and let's have him go throw up some desperation threes. We weren't ever doing that for the most part. So like I said, when it's the coach's job to be like, all right, we have to stick with this. So for the most part, if this team is disciplined, obviously they could change it up, but for what it looked like, they don't seem to be too disciplined.
Right.
So I don't expect them to change much up.
Fair enough. We got just a couple minutes here before we get started back. I'm sure the teams will be coming out of the locker room here pretty quickly. But we got Justin Hare and Cordrick Turner each leading. No, Branson Lynn leading the way with 8 points here tonight. He has really been, a pair of steals as well.
Pair of steals, and we've been...
Something that stands out to me, not a lot of fouls on the Sulphur Springs team tonight. Only 3 fouls so far. And
that's what, looking at stats, we don't get many... We don't have many fouls. Justin Hare, I think, averages a foul a game.
Right.
Which is incredible for a big man that's relying on blocking shots for the most part. I mean, that's what he does. But he's so good at knowing when and being able to judge when he can block a shot and when he just needs to go straight up. He's so great at that.
Absolutely, and Hare and Turner, both of them. We saw even the couple of fouls that we did see. One of them, I think we both disagreed with one of them on Turner.
Yeah.
But here we go. We are getting the teams. Both teams are back on the floor now. We've got just a minute and a half before the second half starts. I do want to recap one more time, and of course you hear the Sulphur Springs crowd here behind me. I gotta say, it's a Saturday, it's a day, it's an afternoon game. We've got a pretty good crowd.
Yeah, nice crowd. And that's the thing about the Sulphur Springs community as a whole, man. And no matter what the record is for the sports teams, they always seem to bring the fans home. And that's an atmosphere. You know, I grew up coming to the games, and there were no fans. And I think Clark Cipolletta did a great job at changing the whole basketball perception in Sulphur Springs and making it very popular. And I think Shaver's doing a great job at stepping into that position.
And I got to, because of Chaz Mead and everything, I've got to interview Coach Shaver a couple of times, but we did one before the season started, and he has some fun things planned for this season. He mentioned at least in one or two district games there's going to be the live band here to kind of give it that kind of college atmosphere. So I really like a lot of the things he's doing. You mentioned what the culture's been like, and I think he's doing a great job of taking the culture that had been kind of set and established and not only continuing it, but also maybe putting his own spin on it.
You know, we mentioned earlier, you know, we've lost a lot of talent, but with that talent was a lot of exciting players. You know, Victor Iwakor, guys get Zadima, Keyston Willis, Sadadrian Hall, these guys that now are playing college ball and hopefully professional someday in some aspect. Xavier Court, Cameron Kahn.
Can we include you in the exciting players?
Okay, we'll include me. The little white guy running around shooting.
The little white guy who was getting threes off. It felt like you didn't like the open ones. The contested ones, though. You get some contested threes off.
Yeah, well, usually when I was open, I was always confused.
Fair.
So it slowed me down a little bit. But, you know, with the talent leaving, the fans still stay the same because they know that the next year is going to be great. And even with Justin Hare and Arrington and Alexander, when they graduate, you have a Branson Lennon, you have a Cordic Turner, you have a JV that's solid with a couple guys down there.
Yeah, we got to see some of this JV game before, and we saw some players on that team. It's going to be the Lions' ball to get things started here in the second half. They are inbound, and obviously they've swapped sides, so Lions will be to our left now. Wildcats will be to our right. We're here at the scorer's table.
In Sulphur Springs.
And that's going to be an air ball. Are we going to hear anything from the crowd?
I think it takes a minute to get the crowd riled back up after halftime.
Especially when you're winning by 20 points. If this were a close game, we might would have heard it there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Alexander once again going to be running the offense. Again, we have the starters out. Branson Lennon for a deep three. No good. Alexander with the rebound, though. And he loses control of it. It's going to be the Lions' ball. We should mention the Wildcats obviously going with their starters again to start the second half. We'll run through those very quickly. It's junior Branson Lynn, junior Cordrick Turner, senior Caleb Alexander, and then seniors Kason Arrington and Justin Hare.
And Branson Lynn picking up his second foul, trying to take a charge.
Good effort played. And the Lions do get the first free throw to go. They have struggled a little bit from the free throw line today, but they get the first one to go there. It's going to make it 41-24.
The big thing about Sulphur Springs today is that they're being able to score on just about every possession, it seems like. You know, and this year, usually when I played, our goal was to have at least a point per possession, which is you're scoring every possession.
Right.
With this season, they're averaging 1.17 points per possession, which is absolutely phenomenal right now, and they're doing that as well again tonight.
And they do get the second free throw to fall as well, going to make it 41-25. Arrington, he's got the ball. He passes over to Turner. Turner misses it, but Alexander gets it. He pulls up from three. Ooh, almost good. The way he started backpedaling, I think he thought he had it as well.
Yeah.
Lions, once again, okay. We get a three off over Turner, no good, but he does get his own offensive rebound. He spins to the goal. No good. Hare comes down with the rebound. And we are running in transition. Hare over to Lynn. He pulls up from three. That's good.
Big.
I know as an announcer I shouldn't say that's good unless it actually is.
Yeah.
I may or may not have said that's good before it was, but it was good. 44-25.
I think with a shooter, you know when it's going in or not.
I like how much the high school game has changed. We're seeing pull-up threes in transition.
I know, man. It's awesome. As a shooter, I love it. Usually.
Got a lot going on underneath the goal over here. Lions get a couple of offensive rebounds. No good. Justin Harris throws a baseball pass up to Lynn. Lynn gives it to Arrington. The layup is good. Y'all forgive me if that was an awful call, but that was a fun play. And got a travel from the Lions. This crowd is kind of going nuts on us.
Yeah, they're starting to pick it back up some. Branson now is 11 right now.
Wow.
Which is crazy. And Justin rebound just picked up his 8th rebound.
And
Justin Harris.
And he averages, 11? Oh, well, pretty much 12 rebounds on the year. So it's going to be the Wildcats' ball there, inbounding by their own bench. Turner drives baseline. He gets it up, and that's good. And the foul. And the foul for Cordrick Turner.
I got to tell you, man, this Wildcat bench is including the coaches.
Not including the coaches, mainly the coaches.
Yeah, mainly the coaches, man. Coach Mass here, a new assistant coach here, is absolutely – he might be more fun to watch than the players.
He might be.
Honestly, if you sat there and just filmed him, it'd be great. You could probably guess what was going on by watching him.
We might be picking up more of his audio than our own.
Yeah, absolutely.
Turner, he's going to shoot his free throw. It's 48-25. 49-25.
He's 5 for 5 from the line tonight.
How many points does he have now?
8 points.
8 points.
5 of them coming from the free throw line.
Love to see it.
I really like that play of just giving it to Cordrick in the post and basically have everybody stand at half court.
Absolutely. Can we do that on every play?
Yeah.
The Lions taking their time setting up the offense here, trailing by 24.
Great defense by Alexander.
And again, it goes to show how much he's grown as a player over these last couple years. The Lions miss, but they do get their own offensive rebound. They get their own offensive rebound again. It's going to go out of bounds and be the Wildcats' ball, though. Between these headphones and the crowd, I can't really hear myself at all, if we're being honest.
Oh, yeah, no, not at all.
And it looks like we need a towel over here.
The great thing about this year, I think the student section is starting to really elevate their game.
And I will say something that seems different. Maybe this was the case when you were playing, and I just didn't notice it as much. But we've seen an actual designated student section. We've seen some actual chants and some stuff in the Paris game.
Yeah, when I played, there wasn't any of that. We wanted it. We begged for it. But a lot of student sections were usually weak when I played, for the most part. And this year, seeing how they react and how much they love being here. It's really exciting. What should high school basketball be like? The
student sections of your days had to crawl, so today's student sections can walk.
Absolutely.
Justin Harry feeds to Turner in the post. He goes up with it. It's good. 51-25. What's that, 10 points now for Turner?
10 for Cordrick.
And we're really seeing a lot of spread out, evenly scoring here tonight. Lions have the ball in the corner.
Get up.
We got a timeout?
Timeout, okay. Yeah. Cordrick needs to be careful with. Yeah, he's always been kind of bad about that. When he's guarding, he usually has his arm out instead of tight to his body. You see the coaches harping on him for that.
Here at the timeout, the Wildcats lead 51-25. We've got about 5 minutes, I believe, left in the third quarter. This second half has come out with a ton of energy.
Yeah, it has, and I think that was a big key. Right now it's 51-25. We're forcing a lot of bad shots, and as a coach, that's what you want. You want them to take bad shots. You don't want to take them open shots. Those little pull-up fadeaways that number 5 is taking, that we're forcing him to do, that's big. Causing their star players to be frustrated and shoot fadeaways is amazing for a high school defense.
Absolutely. I asked you if you thought that they would be able to come out with this kind of energy in the second half. You thought they could, and they absolutely have.
Yeah.
Looks like we're about to resume play here in just 1 second. They're getting a warning.
I think coming out, intensely, we talk about the coaches being exciting to watch, but I think that's a product of the coaches being so into the game, being so excited about deflections, charges, hustle plays. I think them being excited just encourages high school athletes to go even harder and harder and harder.
Absolutely. I told you there was about 5 minutes left in the third quarter. There was 5 minutes and 1 second. Lions inbound underneath their own goal, and then they're going to come back out to the half court, set things up. He gets a screen. Oh, good backdoor pass, but Caleb Alexander there with the deflection slows things down. Lions do get their shot up, and it is good. It's going to make it 51-27. And I like you've got Lynn and Alexander both out there. They're the ones that run the offense, kind of taking turns doing so. Looks like we're going with 4 on the baseline, and now we're moving.
It'll be another high-low play to Cordial.
Another high-low. Turner, even with people on him.
And just getting what he wants.
Gets it in the paint. I told you before the game started, I want to see Cordial Turner with the ball in the paint. Seen a ton of it tonight.
Usually the Silver Springs offense, they run a lot of plays to Hare. But I think today they see that Cordial's just literally getting everything he wants and probably getting fouled on every play, if we're being honest.
See, he had 3 people on him on that play, still gets his shot up with the contact, still gets it to go. Wildcats lead 51-27. He's playing tight defense on the other side. They're going to slow things down. I think we're getting some audio from Coach Shaver here. It's going to be a foul on the floor. Can we see who it's on?
It's on Turner.
It's all going to be on Turner.
It's his second.
Second for Turner. 53-27. Wildcats lead with 3:54 left in the third quarter.
See Jackson Darrow subbing in for the first time today for Grayson Arrington.
And immediately gets a deflection. So immediately, you just mentioned who subbed in for us?
Jackson Darrow.
Jackson Darrow subs in, and if I'm not mistaken, he's the one that forces the deflection on the inbound pass.
Yeah.
It ends up, he deflects it off of a line. It's going to be the Wildcats' ball. 3:52 left here to play in the third quarter.
Silver Springs, they average 9 deflections a game, which is pretty good for a defense. And it seems they have surpassed that greatly tonight.
I would bet there's well past that at this point. For those wondering, we've got Chad, our very own Chad from Chad's Media on the baseline. We've got getting some video action in here today. Y'all be tuned in for all of those. I always love, even before I was working here, I always loved Chad's videos. Ooh, Hare maybe gets away with a travel there. Alexander kicks out to Darrow. Darrow, his first shot of the night is 3, no good, off the back of the rim. I do like that shot.
It's a great shot. Great shot.
Lions moving in transition. Good pass out to the corner. And that's going to be a long 2, but it is good. 53-29, and now the Wildcats matching their pace, moving quickly. I like that. You get the ball up the floor quickly. If it's not there, okay, you slow it down.
Absolutely. And I think that's Branson. His IQ is just, I mean, it is incredible for a junior.
Justin Hare drives the baseline, and he gets it to go. 55-29. 3 minutes left in the third. Turner.
Great defense.
Turner was waiting for him to come in. Hare with the rebound. Pass up to Lynn. Lynn catches it. Doesn't even have to. Oh, I don't know if I like that call.
I definitely think he missed that one.
To fill y'all in on what happened, Justin Hare makes a forward pass up here to Lynn. Lynn catches it about 1 step away from the goal. He catches it, goes straight up. Doesn't put the ball on the floor, but in a situation like that, I don't think he has to.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that call.
It's one of those in the NBA.
It looked like a 2.5 step thing, and it really depends on the ref, man. That varies a lot game to game.
Could be the Lions ball. They get a shot off, no good. Turner. Grown man down there getting that rebound. And again, I like this. You play fast, it's not there, you slow it down.
This is the reason why I say Branson Lane is the player I always wanted to be.
Absolutely.
I mean, being able to shoot the rock, handle the ball, know how to run an offense.
Ooh, what a high IQ play from Justin Hare there. Jackson Darrow feeds him a pass. He's not able quite to get a hold of it. It's going out of bounds. He literally throws it behind his back off of a Lion, and it's going to be their ball.
Our guy Malachi Miles.
Checking back in.
Check back in.
He's checking in for Alexander. So we've got, Darrow, Lynn, Turner, Hare, and Miles. That's the 5 they're rolling with right now. Lynn has it in the corner. He feeds to
Nice
Turner.
one-on-one.
In the post. Turner goes up with the contact and the foul. Have yourself a day, Cortrick Turner.
That's 14 for Turner.
14, could make it 15 on the free throw, and it feels like every time he gets the ball in the post, you could call a foul maybe.
I mean, yeah, and that's another example. And now, at some point, they're trying to double team him. And it's leaving guys open, but at the end of the day, man, if it's working.
We've seen a few where it's maybe even a triple.
Yeah.
Free throw is up, and it is good. 58-29, Wildcats lead. Who we got checking in for us now?
Cole Theo. I'm not sure. I don't want to mispronounce his last name.
I also don't want to mispronounce your last name. We're going to have to interview you after this so we can say it correctly. I apologize. 58-29, Wildcats lead. 2 minutes left here in the third quarter. And at this rate, what's a number that you would be comfortable with for a final score here tonight?
This rate, I would, let's see here. I'd give it about 78 to 41 maybe.
78? I can see that.
It was looking like we
got our man Bull Turner about to come in.
And I will say Bull Turner, he's never on one of my teams, but I was able to practice with him a lot. He is, as a shooter, as a primarily offensive player, he's the most frustrating player I've ever played against. And he was just on the practice team.
It looks like we got Turner coming in for Turner. So Bull Turner will check in for Quadric Turner. Hopefully that's not it for the night for him, but the way this game is going, it very well could be. He's got 15 points. And what is that, 6 for 6 on free throws?
6 for 6, yes.
What a night. If that is the last we see of Quadric Turner tonight, he had himself a night. 59 to 29. Lions ball. And now we've got some bench players in here who are bringing a lot of energy. Our boy Cole came in, he checks in, and immediately a lot of high energy on the defensive side of the ball. We do have a foul on the floor. The Lions are going to inbound on the baseline.
You know, Silver Spring's doing a great job. They're 9 from 11 from the free throw line, which is great.
Great.
And that's big for close games. Obviously, this game, it doesn't have much of an impact, it may seem, but it does in the future. And if you can, a nice deflection from hair, but if you're able to shoot great from the free throw line, it just gets you another step farther in the playoffs.
Great D from Cole here. Jackson Darrow comes down with the rebound. Cole gets it. He gets to Malachi Miles. Miles pulls up. He's going to drive the lane. Gets the foul. Okay, is that an instance where he's going up literally just to draw the foul? Do you think he could have gotten
at
that
that
shot
moment?
off?
I think he was originally trying to use his body, but I think he got too deep and knows, okay, I have to draw a foul, and that's when you see him try to duck and try to go up immediately as fast as he can.
It's a high IQ play. He does get the first free throw to fall. Wildcats out to 60 points tonight. Lions at 29. And I like that we're starting to see more of the second unit here for the Wildcats. We've got Justin Hare is the only starter still on the floor. Miles' second free throw is good as well, so that's both. He's up to, 5 points tonight?
Oh, 6.
6 points tonight. 61-29. There's a minute left here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I think it's good to have game. I know a lot of players like to. They don't think these blowouts really mean much, but I think it's good to have all the units, first, second, and even a third unit, be able to play before district, just in case injuries happen.
Malachi Miles with us still. He gives it to Bull Turner. Bull Turner going to the goal, and he draws a foul. Now he went up with a lot of intensity.
Yeah, he seemed very giddy about that.
Do we know Bull can dunk?
I would imagine so.
The way he went up looked like someone who can dunk.
He's such an athlete. Bull is such a great football player.
Absolutely.
And being able to have a guy like that on the basketball team, it's.
First free throw just rims out. I like very smooth motion he's got there, though. 39.8 left here to play in the third quarter. Second free throw's up, and it is good. 62-29, Wildcats lead. If you're the Lions, do you hold out for the last possession here? Surely you're not trying to get a 2-for-1 or anything. Looks like they're going to slow things down. They have it in the corner. And back out to the top of the key. Malachi Miles playing very tough defense. Lions drive, and that's a charge.
Great charge by Theo.
Great charge. And what's that? At least the second one we've seen of those tonight, maybe third.
Yeah, it's the second one they called.
Fair.
We'll say that. It's probably the third or fourth one we've seen.
Wildcats ball. There's 15 seconds left in the third quarter.
You see Theo bringing it up.
Good move. Gets a screen from Bull. Handoff to Miles. Miles finds Darrow. Darrow going to drive the baseline. Gets his shot off. No good. Miles with the offensive rebound. Ooh. He gets the offensive rebound. Goes up, and it gets thrown out.
That's 2 offensive rebounds for Malachi Miles today. With his size, he's probably 5'10", maybe.
We have him listed at 5'10", so that could go either way. Inbound with 1.3. Darrow gets it off. No
nice
good.
play.
So, as we head into the fourth quarter, Wildcats lead 62-29. Grayson, I want to get your opinion. The entire time I covered you for 2 years, I believe, maybe just the one, but I believe 2, and you were, of course, a starter at that time. In a game like this, you're up 62-29. You get pulled. You know, we've already seen Turner and Hare, a lot of these starters get pulled. We'll see if they go back in or not. But as one of those starters, do you feel any type of way about that, or are you like, hey, we did our job, now y'all's turn to finish this out?
You know, I recall back when one of the games we played that happened where our second unit came in and we sat out for basically the whole fourth quarter. And I remember Cameron Conn was interviewed, and we were still just as hype on the bench, you know, like it was a 2-point game. And Cameron Conn said, they do it for us, so we do it for them. So I think as a starter, for my perspective, you know, they're getting up every possession, every steal, every deflection. They're cheering you on. I think you do that just as well. And I think starters should look at it as an opportunity to almost rest.
Right.
You know, being able to, like Justin Hare, we see that plays so much. It's very crucial for him to be able to take some minutes off.
I will say, to your point, what you're saying, the interviews that I have done, I've interviewed Justin a couple of times now. I've interviewed Parker, Caleb, Cordrick, and every single time I do, it's always we. I ask about the game, and it's always we. So I think they probably have that same mindset that you're talking about. Very quickly, to start the fourth quarter, we've got Theo, Miles, Bull Turner, Cordrick Turner, and Parker Wizenot. So we got both Turners out there right now. So let's make sure we're using first names for a while. I like that we have Bull and Parker out here right now. A couple of guys who getting some more minutes. Parker draws the baseline. He goes up. He feeds to Turner. Cordrick, that is. He gets a shot off. No good. Looked like there may have been contact, but none was called. And now he's playing aggressively on the other side. And I like Cordrick's a defender who can play outside. He can play on the perimeter. He can play down low.
Yeah, that's a lot of growth that we've seen. That's what is fascinating, being 2 years out of high school and seeing the growth from a lot of these players I was able to play with.
You know, with the length that he has, I can't imagine another player would even want to take him on the perimeter. Bull Turner goes up for a layup, no good. Lions for the rebound. We're moving fast. Still 62-29. Lions drive the baseline, no good. They get their own offensive rebound, and the putback is good. They cut it to a 31-point game. It is now 62-31. They have exactly twice as many points as the Lions here tonight. I'm not great at math, but even I can do that one, Grayson. And are we moving in more of a zone right now? Is this a 2-3 zone we're looking at?
Yeah, they're playing a 2-3 zone.
Look at Parker getting the offensive rebound. Going to kick out to Cordrick, who kicks to Miles. Miles drives the baseline, picks up, almost turns it over, but Parker saves it. And we're going to start this thing over again. Like you said, 2-3 zone. Parker with a 3. No good.
Another
Miles
rebound.
with his third offensive rebound of the night. Grayson, tell us about this 2-3 zone.
You see, this 2-3 zone, there really, as you see, Malachi Miles gets the rim again. But this 2-3 zone, it seems very, very closed in on the paint. They're trying to allow as many threes as possible because we haven't seen too much success from there. But when you have guys skilled as Malachi Miles and Parker Wisner, they're still able to get to the rim.
Right. On that one possession, we saw offensive rebounds from both Parker and Malachi. The one from Malachi ends up leading to points for himself.
Yeah, and I think with 2-3 zones, they're so difficult to coach because it's leaving so much opportunity for offensive rebounds to occur because you don't have a specific guy you need to box out like you do in a man defense.
Cordrick Turner gets the Bull Turner down low, and he draws the foul. Just to confuse the audience, I'm going to stop using first names, and I'm just going to say Turner, and y'all figure it out. He'll go to the line for 2. 5:31 left to play. Wildcats lead 64-33. Bull, I believe, went 1 of 2 on the free throws his first time. And it looks like Caleb Alexander is going to check in. Caleb Alexander and
Jaquan Jones.
Okay. Who
is a man's man.
What's I don't want to mention this, but the hand.
Oh yeah, he's had an injury a few years back that he's dealt with, but he's still able to play, which is crazy.
I just didn't want to mention health related. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Trying to keep myself out of trouble. The Lions drive, get a very highly contested shot off, no good, but they do get their own offensive rebound. That's going to be the Wildcats ball. Was that a kickball or what was it?
Yeah, I believe it just went off Henderson's foot. Jaquan Jones enters in for Bull Turner.
So we've got Jones, Wisenhunt, Caleb Alexander, Malachi Miles, and Cordrick Turner. We'll see how many
I
more
believe
subs.
this may be Jaquan Jones' first game of action
Oh, really?
this year.
He pulls up from 3. Ooh, almost. Lions get the rebound. And he almost draws the charge down there. He gets the rebound. He gets the Miles. He looks ahead but decides slowing things down here. Curious to see if this is the final live lineup. Well, no, it is not. We have another sub about to come in.
Jermaine Cleveland coming to the table.
Senior point guard. Looks like the Lions are going to make a pair of subs as well. Get it down low. Ooh,
Parker.
The Lions go up for a dunk. I think without Parker being there, that is a dunk. Parker blocks it.
With ease.
With ease. Like we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, just high energy plays from that kid.
Nice pass.
Parker draws the baseline, up and under. Ooh. Cordrick Turner gets the rebound. He goes up, no good, gets the rebound again, and that one is good.
That's his 17
17
for the night with 4 rebounds.
4 boards. And just the only 2 fouls. He's played pretty aggressively on both sides, still just 2 fouls. It looks like we're going to get a timeout from the Lions. 66-33, so once again, we're exactly at the twice as many points mark. Again, I'm trying my best over here, keep myself fresh on math.
I'm a math major, so I'll help you out if you need.
Thank you.
So let me ask you, if you're guarding Cordrick Turner, if he challenged you to a one-on-one game today, what do you say?
How am I guarding him? That's tough. I think I want him to shoot. I know he can shoot, but I want to keep him out of the paint if at all possible. If he gets into the paint, that's very tough. You're seeing tonight, people are double and tripling him and really not able to stop it. So there's no way you're going to stop that one-on-one. What would you do personally?
Well, I think as a coach, it's so, if you're able to try your hardest, absolute hardest to get him out of the paint.
Absolutely.
Like you said, and being able, if they run that horns action where they run the pick and roll, being able to stop that roll and guard from both sides of it, so he's not able to seal from one side or the other. And you see Sulphur Springs still playing very intense defense here at the last 4 minutes.
Now, we do have the entire bench unit in now.
Yes.
And I would assume that might probably do it for the day for the starters. 3:58 left to play. Lions.
Okay,
go to the
Alexander's
free throw
in.
line. Oh, yes, my fault. First one's up. It's no good. What's Caleb's line looking like tonight? 5 points, pair of assists.
Right, 5 points, pair of assists. But in his stats, it doesn't look like he's doing too much. But I think he's playing very efficient.
He's done a lot more than what a 5 points and 2 assists would show, for sure.
Play very hard defense. He's a guy out there, though, that him running around screens, there would be games where I would have 3 points. But the way I played, it was almost like I had 30 because it opened up so much things for the bigs and even the other shooters as well. And I think having a guy like him on the floor, it does that same production.
Just under 4 minutes left to play. Wildcats ball. The Lions shot a pair of free throws. They weren't able to get either of those to fall. Still 66-33. Alexander running the offense, and he's trying to get things set up. It looks like there's a little confusion out there right now. Of course, you do have the second unit out there. They have less experience running these. So Parker Wisenhunt, he has the ball now.
Absolutely.
He feeds down low to Cleveland. Good
Guys,
effort on the pass. Good idea, just not able to get it there. It's going to be the
Saw it
Lions'
a little
ball.
too late.
And the Lions turned it into 2 points on the other end, 66-35. 3:10 left to go. Grayson, what have you liked the most of what you've seen tonight? Caleb Alexander drives the lane, gets to the goal.
There's so much good happening. There's not really too many negatives tonight. There's not a lot of turnovers. There's not a lot of fouls. I think that's my favorite thing about this. They're playing very intensely, almost at the half-court line. Help defense is incredible, but they're doing this without fouling. And I think that has helped this large deficit that Henderson has.
I absolutely agree. Like you said, I think the main thing to point out is the tough, aggressive defense without the fouling. That's huge.
Absolutely. And
Alexander in the corner. Get that off. He does. Bang!
another one.
And another one.
That's his second 3 of the night. 2 for 5. He's shooting 44% from 3 and averaging about 3 threes a game. And 44% from 3 is
Right, especially on 3 attempts.
it's incredible.
It's now 71-39. For the record, that's 3 from Alexander that was in the corner and kind of contested, but he was able to get it off.
Yep.
And now we got a timeout, and I think that's going to do it for any of the remaining starters. Caleb Alexander, 71-39. Got just under 2 minutes left to play.
You know, another thing I like is how well Caleb and Branson have been able to determine the pace of the game and not allowing Henderson to decide that. I think a lot of games are decided on who controls the pace. And when it comes in games where they are close, when you go against a team like Mount Pleasant who plays super hard all the time, they're super gritty, they'll play fast, they'll play slow, a lot of it comes to who's going to control the pace of that game.
Absolutely.
And seeing Branson and Caleb be so great at that.
Absolutely. There were so many times we saw tonight, they get the offensive rebound, or even if they do score, you inbound quickly. You're moving fast. You get there. If you have an open pass or something, you keep going. If not, you slow it down. You dictate the pace. I absolutely agree. Both Lynn and Alexander did a great job of that here tonight. Now we got Theo with the ball. He gets the Bull. Bull drives. And it's good. Gets the layup to go. 73-39. Grayson, you told me you wanted to see 78. We're getting close.
A rebound from Bull.
He's going about 100 miles per hour. He ends up slowing down. For 3. Bull with the offensive rebound and the putback, no good. Yeah, you were dang close, Grayson. The Lions turned it into 2 points on the other end, so it is now 73-41 with just over a minute left to play. Thank you all so much for everyone tuning in with us here tonight. We're hoping to be able to do more and more of this year. For sure, the district games, playoff games, things of that nature.
Absolutely. Jaquan Jones heading to the free throw line. And, Jaquan is playing with a cast on his left hand. And I honestly, that's so impressive to be able to put the ball on the ground, catch pass, and shoot with a cast. It's very impressive.
He's going to the line to shoot a pair of free throws now, and literally he's just dribbling with the one hand, picking it up. First one no good, but that has to be tough to do.
Yep.
55.3 left here to play. Grayson, I'm not going to lie to you. If we could do this every single day, I think I would do it.
Oh, yeah. It's been fun.
It's been a ton of fun. Hopefully, y'all don't kick me out and replace me with a better partner. We'll see. Lions taking their time getting a shot off. Turnaround jumper off the backboard, and it's good. 73-43, so they're able to cut it to a 30-point deficit.
Heading into the final seconds here, so I would assume we keep it out.
I would think so.
But it looks like Bulls wanting to. Okay. I thought they were about to run some pick and roll action.
We might. We'll see. We're still getting some tight defense here. 14 seconds left. And I think that's now Bulls got the ball. 10 seconds left on the clock. 8, 7, 6, 5. That's going to do it. Wildcats win 73-43. Big home win here against the Henderson Lions. Grayson, tell us, man, what do you like from what you saw tonight?
Well, Grayson Lynn, 11 points, most of them coming from the paint on transition. That's amazing. Justin Hare being able to have a slow night offensively, but makes such an impact on the defensive end and the rebounding and getting it out on transition is huge. Those little things and being able to not foul were big impacts of the game.
Grayson, I'm going to let you wrap things up here. I've got to go do these post-game interviews real quick. Thank y'all so much for watching. I'm going to let Grayson take y'all home from here.
Appreciate you, buddy. So we have Justin Hare finishing off the night with 8 points and 9 rebounds. and has 3 steals. Like I said, I've mentioned before in the game, he may have been a little slow offensively, but defensively he was able to make a huge effect on the game. Corjic Turner finishes the night off with 17 points. The second half was getting whatever he wanted with the double team, triple teaming him. Caleb Alexander, 10 points, hitting 2 threes. We have Grayson Arrington finishing off with 8 points and 2 rebounds. Parker Wisenhunt, 4 points, 2 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 block. Was really big on getting out in transition, making a lot of deflections, which would cause turnovers and disruption to the offense. Malachi Miles, he played with a lot of heart tonight, 8 points, 3 rebounds, all of them coming from the offensive end, and was very effective tonight. With coming with some small size, being able to grab not only 1 offensive board, not 2, but 3 is huge. Branson Lynn has 11 points, and Bull Turner ended up having 3 points on his own off the bench, and Jackson Darrow grabbing a point as well. From the free throw line, we were able to execute well defensively. We were able to execute well and finish it off with a 30-point win. And this will be huge going into the future, and we look forward to seeing you when it comes district time. And being able to do the district home games, and it'll be very exciting, and we hope y'all enjoy, and we thank y'all for tuning in as well. We'll see y'all next game.